She walked down the aisle in a white dress, but I didn't see a bride. I saw a thief. Everyone thought I was the lucky one, the rich tech CEO marrying the girl way out of his league. What they didn't know was I wasn't even the CEO, not really. The mansions, the cars, the billion-dollar startup, none of it had my name on it. And that was always the plan. Because when she finally showed her true colors, I didn't lose anything. She did. I watched her drain my accounts, thinking I had no clue, thinking I was the prize. She didn't know I had a twin. And the man she really betrayed is 10 times more dangerous than I ever was. Growing up, I never wanted the spotlight. That was always my brother Damon's thing. He was the face, I was the code. He stood in boardrooms, I sat in server rooms. But together, we built an empire. The public thought Damon Brooks ran the billion-dollar tech firm we started. They didn't know Damon was a name we both used, one twin in front of the camera, the other behind the code. We agreed early on, we'd split everything, but only one of us would be visible. It kept things clean, safe. Nobody knew there were two of us, not investors, not press, not even family. We didn't trust easily, not with lives like ours, not with wealth like ours. And then, I met her, Elena. She was magnetic. All confidence and curves and caramel-colored words that made me believe people like me could be seen too. I don't care about money, she told me on our third date. You're not like all those alpha-type guys chasing headlines. You're real. Maybe I wanted to believe her. Maybe I was just tired of watching my brother live, while I existed. So I let her in. We dated for a year. I proposed. She moved into the penthouse. She didn't ask questions about the money, not directly, but when she smiled at my watch or pouted over prenups, I felt it. The shift. The mask slipping. And Damon? He hated her from the start. Called her a climber, a vulture. I told him he was being paranoid. Now I look back and realize he wasn't being paranoid. He was being protective. And I ignored him. It started small, like all betrayals do. She began locking her phone when she never used to, muted group chats, messages from work friends I'd never heard of. I told myself, stop. Don't ruin a good thing just because you've been broken before. But my gut? It never stopped whispering. One night I walked into the living room and saw her quickly swiping something away on her phone. When I asked what she was doing, she laughed. Just looking at decor ideas, unless you don't want a dream house? I kissed her forehead and apologized. But something cracked that night. And once doubt slips in, even a little, everything starts to look different. Her spending spiked, new bags, dresses, a private trainer who made house visits in the middle of the workday. She stopped asking about our life, started talking about her future. I want to travel next year and alone, just for clarity. Clarity? I tried to talk to Damon, told him he was right. Something was off. He got quiet. Then he said something I'll never forget. You know why women like her marry men like us? Because they're betting you won't fight back. That night, he handed me a drive. Photos, messages, voice recordings she never meant for me to hear. In one of them, her voice was soft and sultry. Babe, I'll divorce him once I secure the asset shares. He's clueless, sweet but stupid. Just a matter of time. I felt something break inside me. But not pain, not rage. Peace. Because I knew exactly what to do. She thought she'd manipulated her way into a billion-dollar marriage. The truth? She married the wrong twin. By law, I owned nothing. Everything, the accounts, real estate, assets, even the business, was locked into Damon's name. We'd built a firewall between our public image and our real structure a long time ago, just in case we ever needed to disappear. Guess what? She gave me the perfect reason to use it. But I didn't leave right away. No, I stayed, smiled, kissed her like nothing was wrong, let her plan her betrayal, while I built mine. It was the night before our anniversary dinner. She floated into the room in a silk robe, glass of wine in hand, humming like she had already won. That same day, she'd called a divorce attorney from her gym parking lot. I knew because Damon had installed surveillance weeks ago. I'd seen the whole transcript. He doesn't even realize half the assets are joint. Once I lock this, I'm out. Tonight, she smiled at me like she still believed her performance. "I've booked us dinner at that rooftop place you like," she purred. "You've been so tense. You need to relax." Relax? I smiled back and slid a plain white envelope across the table. She blinked at it. "Is this a letter?" "Not exactly," I said. "It's a breakdown of everything you thought you'd leave with." She opened it. The first page held a legal document. The second, a corporate asset list. The third, her own voice, transcribed word for word from a phone call she never knew we had. At first, she laughed. Then her eyes darted from page to page. Her face dropped. "Wait, why is nothing in your name? Where's the tech company? The condos? The accounts?" I leaned back in my chair. "My brother says hi." She froze. "What?" "The real owner of all this. You married me thinking I was the trophy. You didn't realize the game started before you stepped on the board." I stood up, calm as the night. "You wanted half of a fortune I never owned. You were never betraying me. You were trying to steal from the wrong ghost." "Marcus, wait." But I was already gone. And as the door closed behind me, for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like the quiet one. I felt powerful. She tried to fight it, of course, filed paperwork, called lawyers, threw tantrums through teary voicemails full of soft apologies and fake regret. But the thing about building your empire in someone else's shadow is they can't steal what they can't see. Every call from her lawyer ended the same way. "There's nothing in his name. He doesn't own any of it." Sure, she got to keep the designer clothes and the empty penthouse she swore she loved. She posted photos pretending everything was fine, flashy smiles, rented cars, carefully posed to look expensive. But the sparkle was gone. The sponsors disappeared. And so did the invitations. Turns out, in her world, love was only interesting when it came wrapped in cash. As for me, I moved out quietly. No press, no headline, just peace. Damon and I aren't hiding anymore. We work side by side now, still indistinguishable to most, but finally equal, not just by blood, but power. And love? Maybe one day. But next time, I'll wait for someone who sees me, not the dollar signs behind me. People ask, "What do you regret?" And the truth is, nothing. Because what she thought was the biggest mistake of my life turned out to be the best move we ever planned. She played me for money. She left with nothing but memories. And I walked away with everything she never had: peace, truth, and my soul. Sometimes the best revenge is never giving them a second chance to hurt you. So let me ask you something. What would you do if the person who claimed to love you was only loyal to your lifestyle,